saddened her heart about what's happening in school, so we were hoping to pray.
Like, this is simple logic, that men are men, women are women, boys are boys, girls are girls, and a young child understands that.
We're seeing an uprising amongst youth. We've been fed indoctrination for far too long.
And we're not fighting against people. We don't hate people. We love the people. It's the ideology that we're opposed to.
You know, silence is compliance. If I don't do anything, no one else will do anything. And, you know, domino effect, I'm hoping.
Robert Kraychik here for Rebel News in Ottawa, Ontario, at the Ottawa Catholic School Board's headquarters. A demonstration is taking place organized by parents and students against what the school board itself describes as its own celebration of the so-called 2SLGBTQ+ community, including the school board's acceptance and promotion of so-called Pride Month, in accordance with what the school board says is in alignment with Ontario's provincial so-called equity and inclusive education strategy.
Dear Rebel News audience, if you think highly sexualized and often pornographic content has no place in educational curriculum targeting students in government-run schools and public libraries, please sign our petition at stopclassroomgrooming.com.
They want to take over that, like any other socialist government has tried to do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, evil is at our doorsteps, and we're here to stand up against that evil.
We're here supporting and defending the innocence of young children who shouldn't be indoctrinated with gender and sexual ideologies. Like, this is simple logic, that men are men, women are women, boys are boys, girls are girls, and a young child understands that.
I decided to organize this day because I was a part of the public school board and the Catholic school board, and I know how it's like. The students aren't learning anything, and what they are learning, it's all about confusing them and making life harder for them when they're already trying to figure themselves out.
We're seeing an uprising amongst youth. We've been fed indoctrination for far too long. All the flags in the nation, or most of them, or all the schools, have the flag of sodomy, and it's disgusting. And they're pushing false agendas in the class, and it's time we put an end to it.
So I believe since COVID, about 30% now took their kids out of school, and I believe with this whole trends, there will be a lot more people taking their kids out of school, and I don't blame them.
Most religions, they believe in an absolute. And one of the concrete ways of showing something that's absolute is in our creation. As male and female, we believe that God created men and women as distinct. And because we are in God's image, we are a reflection of that image. That we reflect the dimension of God, which is man and female. And because God is unchangeable, that means our image, that is male and female, are also unchangeable.
The transgender agenda is fundamentally in opposition to the foundations of Canadian culture. Even as unbelievers or as non-Christians, most people understand the basic science of biology, that male and female. But when it gets into the religious aspects, that is very important to the majority of Canadians.
In my class, grade 7, so about 3 years ago, we were forced to take a personality quiz. It was just to learn about the students. And we had to choose about our sexuality and about like how we identified. And many students were confused and lost about that. And so that's why I came here today as well, is because I saw what happened to Josh Alexander, and I got inspired to speak up because, you know, silence is compliance. If I don't do anything, no one else will do anything. And, you know, domino effect, I'm hoping.
Telling them that you can be a girl if you want to be a girl, you can be a boy if you want to be a boy, is totally confusing and detrimental, because if they decide to go through with surgeries in the future, it's totally going to mutilate their bodies, and they're going to be destroyed, and they're going to realize they lied to me.
If students are going to go to Catholic school, they should be able to be taught about their faith and not just about like, yes, everything is good, you know, if you don't agree with the Bible, like that's okay as long as you're a Christian.
tables changed and they started to talk about pride, LGBTQ, human sexuality, and now transgenderism, and those are touching on religious principles. So they brought that fight to us.
I took a stance in my Catholic school. I was one kid, and now I'm going across the country and there's schools stepping up, but also here in Ottawa, we're seeing quite a big push after myself and Chris Elston, Billboard Chris, went in on June 9th to Broadview Carling, went to Notre Dame, Broadview, and Nepean High.
If you try to change back, if you try to detransition, they put laws on the books to stop that. So it's really fluid only one way, not the other.
You need to know this. The school need us. We don't need them. If the schools, when there is no kids to attend, they shut them down. So, and they will have no more schools. So they need us. We don't need them. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are waking up to what kind of education their kids are not getting.
I feel incumbent as a father of 4 daughters to stand up and speak up for the voiceless.
Are you forecasting, predicting, seeing more events of this nature scheduled across the summer?
Certainly for the rest of the school year. I'm going to be at one every day now till the end of the school year. But we'll certainly see stuff throughout the summer as well as September. September is going to be big.
Dear Rebel News audience, if you think highly sexualized and often pornographic content has no place in educational curriculum targeting students in government-run schools and public libraries, please sign our petition at stopclassroomgrooming.com.